Three new Senshi by Arcade Striker JK5. Chapter 8. Taking the fight to the enemy. Jaina's brown eyes flared open, and a young man's face hovering over her swam into focus. Ugh, think the force you're awake, Sex said. He knelt down gently and helped her sit up. Are you alright?
Where am I?
She asked, her eyes blinking rapidly. Shek chuckled. Oh, come on. You told us where to go. Jaina's mind cleared somewhat.
Oh, blaster bolts! We're at Ray's temple!
She turned and stood up, then promptly swooned. Seth grabbed her arm and steadied her, physically and through the force. Whoa! You're in no condition to get up! Jaina shook her head, making her even dizzier and sending everything out of focus.
No, I have to. Indecision has cost us clearly. Now Tion, Mishiru, and Haruka are also prisoners of chaos.
She staggered to the door, Sek helping her along the way. She exited a room and was soon in a temple courtyard. It was now the next morning.
I didn't realize I was that out of it,
she murmured. Her eyes fell upon a gathering near the largest tree.
What's going on?
Armies found the location of Galaxia's base. We also appear to have some allies. Jaina saw the first young woman. She immediately recognized her through her force aura.
She's quite powerful,
she commented. Six smiled and shook his head. Oh, you have no idea.
The girl with the pink ponytails glanced over at Jaina and smiled. Hi, I'm glad you're awake.
Before running over and hugging Jaina,
my name is Chiba Usagi.
She quickly broke off the hug and bowed.
I'm 18 years old and the daughter of Queen Serenity and King Endymion, rulers of Crystal Tokyo.
Jaina slowly returned the bow, then paused halfway down.
Wait, Crystal Tokyo? She straightened up. I remember hearing about you. You're Chiba Usa, aren't you?
Chiba Usa snarled.
Hey, that was a nickname when I was younger. I'm grown up now.
She leaned forward and placed her hands on her hips and stuck her tongue out at Jaina, who sighed and rubbed her hand to her forehead. Okay, so you're Usagi and Mamoru's daughter. Who's the other one? Sek ran his fingers through his midnight black hair. You're going to want to sit down for that one. Han nearly killed himself when he found out. Jaina looked around and spotted the young woman talking to Leia, Han, Anakin, Tairi, and Hotaru. She walked over, leaving Zek with Chiba Usa. Jaina felt a bit of agitation coming from her mother and father, but outright hostility radiated off of Tairi. Young girl turned around as she approached and smiled.
Hi, Aunt Jaina.
Jaina rolled her brown eyes. Okay, I need coffee, now. Leia walked over to her daughter and ran through a meditation exercise before speaking.
It seems she's a relative of ours from the future.
She looked over at Han with a coy expression. My dearest husband nearly cracked his skull open when she said, Hi, Papa, to him. Han scowled and crossed his arms. Hey, you had a streaky fit when you called your grandma.
Young girl, only about 16 or 17, bowed at Jaina. Hello, my name is Tomoe Salo. I come from 1,000 years into the future and have restored the planet of Crystal Alderaan.
Jaina's breath caught in her breath.
Crystal Alderaan?
Tomo nodded somberly.
Yes. You shall use your Gunsui Cell to restore the destroyed planet and usher in a new era of peace.
You know what? Why do I even try pretending to live a time? People just come in from the future and just start speaking about the entire timeline anyway. Why do I even bother? I know, Doc. I know. Just go back to the TARDIS. Right. Jaina looked back at Chiba Usa.
How do you two know each other if you're from my reality?
Tomo shrugged.
There's a gateway connecting Crystal Alderaan to Crystal Tokyo, and Usagi's my best friend. We go to the same high school.
Jaina looked back at Leia, neck hurting.
Mom, Ami really knows where Galaxia is?
The sissy of peace nodded.
Yes. In 1 hour, we're heading out to the Falcon and Saber to finalize plans.
Jaina nodded, but a thought struck her.
Are Usagi, Mamoru, Makoto, Minako, and Rei ready for this?
Han pointed towards the courtyard. Just for yourself. Jaina looked over and saw 5 people standing there, each one holding up a lightsaber and eyeing it. Usagi and Mamoru shot forth a brilliant white blade, while Ray's had a reddish tint to it. Makoto twirled around a double-bladed lightsaber. BOOM! With emerald plasma blades, and Minako held an orange one, not like on sex. Jaina nodded in admiration. The Force will be with us. Okay. If this fic keeps pulling out the awesomeness on with these scenes or having my Senshi being so awesome and doing cool things, I might going to die again from brain aneurysm. Well, I kind of need all this after reading Maiken yesterday, so thank you. As the sun rose from midday, the surviving Senshi and Jedi gathered around the Millennium Falcon. Ami stood in front of them with a portable holoprojector and her mini-computer in hand. She inputted a command, and the holoprojector showed an image of a warehouse.
Galaxia is in there. I scanned the building not only through the Force, but with my computer and felt nothing through the Force. But my computer showed an energy field surrounding the buildings.
Her face scratched up in resolution.
She's there.
General Call walked up and looked at the image over her gray eyes. It appears all we could do is a frontal assault. Ami nodded.
Galaxia will detect us the second we appear within 1,000 meters of the building, and we can't sail or teleport directly in.
A sigh escaped her lips before she continued.
We're going to have to wade through the Phantom Sisters, Amazon Trio, Amazon's Quartet, and the Animes before reaching Galaxia.
Her also blue eyes fell upon Jaina and Usagi.
And then, it's up to you two.
Jaina nodded, uncertainty playing over her face. I'll do it. Uncle Luke, Haruka, Michiru, Tion, and all the rest are counting on us. Usagi nodded, then turned to Jaina and stuck out her hand.
I'll work with you, not against you.
Jaina bridged the gap between the two, and clasped Usagi's hand, popping it twice. She broke it off and moments into Chiba Yusa and Tomo. So, what are they doing here? She asked Asuna. Senshi at times shrugged. Small lady will not affect the timeline one way or another, but Tomo is a catalyst. She's a predestination paradox. Oh, great predestination paradoxes. Oh, does he love those? Gina's eyes narrowed before she looked at the young teen. So, what's your story? You called me Aunt Gina back at Ray's temple. A sneaky grin crossed her face. Are you Jason and Tennoka's kid? Tomo shook her head.
No, I am Anakin and Ataru's daughter.
Silence reigned for a full 5 minutes. Jaina lightly scanned Tairi in the interim, and noticed a massive amount of pure rage the Senshi of Sand was tamping down. She slowly looked over Hotaru, and saw her desperately trying to hide a smile. Finally, she glanced at Anakin and saw her younger brother. His cheeks were slightly flushed, and he hopped from one foot to another. He looked back at Tomo, and, for the first time, really looked at her. Her hair was the same style as Hotaru's, but as noted before, it was several shades lighter. She also had Hotaru's nose, but Anakin's jawline and smile was as to say she had a small one best. Jaina finally walked over and hugged her niece. It's always good to meet family. Hotomo returned the hug.
Thank you.
Tairi's green eyes glanced around, first at Anakin, then at Hotaru. She gritted her teeth, grinding together.
So, what's the plan? She yelled out. We need a plan if we're going to beat out Chaos Galaxy, and not to mention her army, and how many of them are still...
Marasoli spoke up. It's just a multi-front approach. Leia nodded.
You're right. But Jaina and Usagi should go in front.
The two women walked up to the hologram.
We draw Galaxia's army away, letting you two slip in.
Leia murmured.
Does anyone have any objections?
There are none. She clapped her hands.
Why then, when should we do it?
Luna spoke up.
We should get a good night's sleep first.
Everyone murmured her asset, and Minako said,
The early bird gets healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Luna's yellow eyes looked at the blonde.
I think you got that wrong,
the feline dryly remarked.
The leader of the Senshi, how does he mess that up?
Minako scratched the back of her head.
Really?
Luna glanced over at Aramis.
Is your fur really white, or is it all gray hairs? Well, considering Diana, I think it is all white.
Mamoru stepped forward and turned around before facing the group. Jason, Han, Anakin, please step forward. The three men reluctantly stepped forward. What's this all about? Mamoru reached into his coat, prompting Chewie to growl curiosity at him. He quickly pulled out 3 roses and, with a quick flick, tossed them at the men. Han's strong hand grabbed the rose stem first. Of course he did, because he's Han. He's awesome. While Jason and Anakin grabbed theirs by the petals. All 3 solo men were fell in a bright light, and when it faded, they all wore tuxedos with a mask over their eyes and cape. Mamoru looked over his Zek. You're right. They too have the power. Han looked at his hand, now a white glove. The rose he held now was still red, but Jason's was a bright green, while Anakin's was as blue as his lightsaber blade. Jason grinned. Oh, this is great! I've never looked better! Anakin's hand blurred, and the rose embedded itself in the ground. It does make some sense, too. We've been linked by destiny to our beloved, whoever that may be. Han, meanwhile, looked over at Mamoru. Okay, kid. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't have any special powers. Mamoru shook his head. That's not true, Han. You have a power, just not as a Jedi. You have the power to do... I agree with Mamoru. Han's got the power to do awesome big damn heroes moments, fire with unrelenting accuracy, to shoot first, kill him! Murder him! He used the joke! He walked up to Han and put a hand on his shoulder. You have a strength you never realized, Han. You need them if we're going to survive this battle. The young man's face grew dark. This battle against evil will take everything we have, our heart, body, and soul. Can you commit to that? Han snorted. I'll do it, for love and justice. He turned his head slowly to Mari's side. Okay, how do you do those stupid speeches? Mara shrugged. I still haven't. She looked around while stroking her belly. Okay, we'll meet back here tomorrow at noon. Get plenty of sleep tonight, everyone. Everyone nodded, and most headed for their homes, but most stuck around for a bit. Tari stumped up to Anakin and grabbed him by the arm. She suddenly hauled him off to the outside of the day chamber, and the young man felt confusion, anger, and sadness raining out the young woman. How did she happen? Anakin's eyes narrowed at his best friend. Who happened? Tyree snarled and punched him in the arm hard. Who the fuck do you think I mean? I'm talking about... She stopped when she sensed 2 people approaching. Tomo Solo and Tomoe Hataru walked up, chatting amicably. The conversation died down, and he stopped as he approached Anakin and Tyree. Anakin suddenly grabbed Hataru and hauled the delicate teenager out by the arm. The 2 walked over to the Falcon. Is this set in stone? Hataru's violet eyes blinked twice. What? He motioned to Tomo. Her. Is he set in stone? He got her arm and paced back and forth a bit. Master Yoda said, and it's been quoted by nearly every Jedi Knight and Master, always in motion is the future. The young man suddenly stopped to pivot on his heel, bringing his face mere centimeters to Hataru's. Does that apply to us? Hataru felt his hot breath on his skin. She felt anger on the situation, being forced to choose between his 2 best friends. She also felt his feelings shifting. The future can be changed, but I don't want it to. I love you, Anakin. You know that. Anakin nodded. I know, and I've been thinking about it ever since you told me over that chocolate parfait. He paused for a moment and gathered his rolling thoughts. I love you, Hataru. He leaned in and kissed her while the sun set beside him, casting their profiles to the shadows. Hataru grabbed his arms and held on lest he swoon. Tari watched the 2 with disguised hate. Her eyes flickered upon Tomoe. What are you looking at? Is my heart breaking enough amusement for you? Tomoe shook her head. I'm sorry. I was simply gauging your reaction. The Senshi of Sand scowled, causing Tomoe to chuckle. What's so funny? Tari asked her. Future Senshi looked over at Taru and Anakin. Can you really hate them? The Senshi sighed and nodded. Yes, I can! She stepped forward, but Tomo stepped in front of her. Don't, she said, holding up a hand. Mom and Dad love each other. I know it's painful, but you can't stop destiny. Tears started to trail down Tyree's cheek and she turned away. I don't get it.
Why does he love her?
The young woman turned back to Tomo.
Why?
She whispered again. Tomo turned her violet eyes back to Hotaru and Anakin.
You had to ask them yourself, Tyree.
Tyree nodded, then slowly walked over to Anakin and Hotaru, her thoughts organizing themselves.
I love him. But did I ever tell him that? Did I ever? Of course I didn't. He never knew my true feelings, and Hotaru told him hers. The love slipped through my fingers, and they're looking so happy together.
And you know what? Out of all the Sailor Moon crossover fics I've read where they've had a romance between crossover romance, this one makes the most sense. And the best one. By now, two had broken off their kiss and watched Tyree approach. Anakin's cheeks blushed, although he had no idea why. Before he could speak or even open his mouth, Tyree walked up to him and spoke.
I thank you for being my friend, and I thank you for being there through all the good times and bad.
She then looked at Hotaru.
And I thank you for teaching me the way of the Senshi and helping me build my lightsaber.
She backed up and took Hotaru's right hand in Anakin's left, bringing the two together.
Can we still be friends?
She tearfully asked. Anakin's eyes flashed. He walked up to Tyree and bored into her vice blue eyes. Tyree, don't you ever think we will be friends. Got it? He wrapped his arms around her in a hug before continuing. I'll always be there for you, Tyree. Tyree slid her arms up and suddenly pushed him away.
No, you won't!
She stepped back a bit and slowly pointed at Hotaru.
You'll always be there for her. Not me. Get it?
The young man glanced at Hotaru for a moment, then looked at Tyree. Her lip was trembling a bit, but she wasn't as sad or angry as before. Her posture was a bit straighter, as if a great weight was gone from her shoulders. Got it, he confirmed. She nodded and gave him a trembling smile.
Good!
Her shoulders bowed and she sighed.
Not to sound petty, but with Haruka and Mishira's house destroyed and their star seeds captured, where are we going to go?
All three looked up as Setsuna and Tomo walked over. The guardian of time held out a right hand, and a large, ornately styled door appeared. You may rest here. Hotaru walked up to her and bowed her head.
Thank you,
she said before walking up to the time gate. The door swung open, revealing a bright light, fog, and little less. Anakin walked forward, eyes blazing with curiosity. Tyree followed, albeit with more caution. Hotaru looked up at Setsuna.
Look at Dio and the others back,
she said, feeling the older sensei's tamp down anger. Setsuna looked down at her with flashing green eyes. Are you sure? Hotaru nodded, flashing her a smile.
The Force will be with us tomorrow. I have foreseen it.
The guardian smiled before reaching over and rubbing Hotaru's head, lifting up her short black hair.
Stop it!
The sensei of death said, playfully batting her away. Has the power to nuke an entire planet with a single swipe of her death blade. Still acts like a little teenager. Setsuna let her smile fade before walking through the door, leaving Tomo and Hotaru behind. Hotaru looked over at her future daughter. She could see so much of herself and Anakin in her. Tomo noticed the stare and spoke up.
Are you alright?
Hotaru stepped forward and looked at her daughter in almost identical violet eyes and said,
I'm alright.
She stopped and wrapped her arm around Tomo's shoulder before pulling her in and walked through the tight gate.
So, how does Leia and Han take the news when I'm pregnant?
Back in their apartment, Usagi and Chibiusa sat at the dinner table, eating curry. Chibiusa's scarlet eyes looked up at her future mother.
I am in awe,
she said between bites.
You can cook now!
Usagi directed a withering glare at her, causing the teenager to shrink into her seat. The blonde said she looked over and saw Luna sitting with Jaina on her couch. Her senses tingled as she rose from her seat and walked over to the young woman.
What's wrong?
Luna looked up at her charge. Jaina has a simple case of nerves. The feline looked at Jaina, clutched her lightsaber ink transformation wand tightly in white-knuckled hands. The wand said she sat down.
I can understand, Jaina. It always took a major effort on the part of Luna and the other Senshi to get me into any fight.
Jaina looked over her. Yeah, but back then you were pretty new to fighting. Me? I'm an old pro at fighting. Her brown eyes took a faraway gaze as she spoke again.
So, why am I getting the jitters now?
Usagi bit her lip and thought for a moment.
Maybe there's something else here than pre-filed jitters?
Jaina sighed, rather melancholy, and looked to the ceiling.
I let down Tion, Haruka, and Michiru, and Uncle Luke, she said. Their star seeds were stolen because of me.
She looked down and saw a single tear fall from her brown eye. Sex suddenly appeared beside Jaina. It wasn't your fault, he stated. Jaina looked up at him, and his heart broke. From above he appeared to be a child, small and scared. He knelt down and said, They don't blame you. We don't blame you. So please stop blaming yourself for something that isn't your fault. He reached over and wrapped an arm around Jaina. She nodded and grabbed a hold of him, pulling him in for a tight embrace.
I'm just so scared.
The two stood up, still locked in the embrace. What are you scared of? Jaina shrugged.
I'm scared of my power.
She began, the words flowing quicker with each second.
I'm scared I won't have the power to seal chaos away.
She broke the embrace and looked up into Zack's caring eyes.
I need eternal power like Usagi, or else chaos wins!
Zack nodded sagely. The eternal power of good Jesus shall be yours if you're ready, Jaina Solo. I feel you're worthy. Jaina's eyebrows arched in surprise at her boyfriend's words.
Have you been sniffing that rose too much?
Zack smiled at her obvious attempt to lighten the mood. No, it simply makes the most sense. He then motioned to Mamoru, who was standing back a bit. Mamoru also clued me in on some pretender stuff. Apparently, we're now linked by destiny. Jaina let a smile cross her lips as he leaned against his chest.
I could have told you that before.
Tanaka and Makoto stood in the Kino family dojo, both tense and ready. Once more, Jason stood off on the sidelines and watched his beloved prepared for the mother of all duels. Makoto held her right hand and summoned her transformation wand, shouting, Jupiter! Crystal power! Make up! Electricity streamed around her body, melting her clothes into a sailor fuku, complete with a pink bow on the front and a green miniskirt. Green ankle boots and ebon-lace gloves completed the ensemble. Tanaka then held up her right hand and summoned her transformation wand. She also held the ornate rod and shouted, Daffodil crystal power! Make up! A red mist enveloped the Halpon princess, forming a sailor fuku, complete with a bright red bow tied on the front and miniskirt. A globule of energy coalesced around her prosthetic green arm, and green flames drowsed around the label ace white glove. Red high heels completed the ensemble as she changed into Sailor Dathomir. Sailor Jupiter unclipped a lightsaber from her skirt. It was twice the length of a normal lightsaber, and looked like it could double as a blunt instrument. She pressed a button on it, igniting two bright green blades from each end. She twirled it around over her head, finally settling into an offensive stance. Sailor Dathomir unclipped her own Rancor tooth lightsaber and ignited, sending forth a turquoise blade. Are you ready? She asked, unseating the Sakabato slung across her back. The Senshi of Thunder nodded. I am. Let's do this. They crossed the distance between them quickly and struck blades, sending forth a shower of sparks as the plasma blades went forth a screech. Dathomir slashed downwards across Jupiter's left shoulder with her lightsaber and stabbed at her midsection. But she blocked it and moved out of position, while sweeping her lower blade up in an attempt to parry the reverse-edged sword away and eviscerate Dathomir. The redheaded Senshi somehow sucked down her already flat and toned gut even more, avoiding the plasma blades by centimeters. She disengaged from the upper blade near the shoulder and struck at the lower blade with her Sakabato, throwing the brunette off balance. She backed up for a moment before spinning around, feinting a strike to Dathomir's legs. Dathomir blocked the feint and ducked a subsequent overhead swing. Your skills have improved, she noted, pride in her voice. Jupiter smiled. Thank you. The two warriors soon locked blades once more. Our fancy power is not disallowed here, Jupiter asked. Dathomir's great eyes narrowed to front. I would say no, friend Makoto. The brunette flashed a smile of a predator. She clenched her fist around the hilt of the lightsaber. Even Tyre shouted, Supreme Thunder! Blue-white bolts of lightning erupted from her and traveled across the lightsaber and Sakabato to Dathomir, causing her to grit her teeth in pain. Dathomir stumbled back and fell to one knee. Jupiter gave her no quarter and slashed at her with emerald blades. But the half-bound princess stuck down and rolled out of the way before their plasma blades could hit her. Even on training mode, they still hurt. She got to one knee and held out her left hand, palm out. Half-bound ball of protection! She shouted. A glass-like bubble formed a mirror in front of her, deflecting Jupiter's next thrust. Plasma blade bounced off, and Dathomir held her hand. Dathomir! Before she continued the attack phrase, Jason shouted from the sideline, Don't do it, Tennoka! You'll burn the house down! Dathomir scowled from her, opened her fist, holding attack. She rose to her feet, and in one quick motion, but was unable to drop her shield due to Jupiter's offensive onslaught. She swung her double-bladed lightsaber from side to side, striking the Sensi's barrier repeatedly. Dathomir gritted her teeth. I need a new attack! She thought. Suddenly, she felt a burst of energy flow through her, taking most of her breath away. Both Jupiter and Jason felt it. The crypt? Jupiter immediately recognized what was happening. You can gain another attack, Tennoka, she said, stopping the onslaught for a moment. Sarah Dathomir nodded, behind the shield, and thought for a moment. My last technique was based on Hapes. It's Dathomir's turn once more. She suddenly clenched her fist around the hilt of her Sakabato and punched the air. Raycon Roundhouse! She shouted. A translucent shockwave blasted from her fist, crossing the distance between the two Senshi in less than a second. It was still enough time for Jupiter to bring her lightsaber out to block the attack, but it didn't give her enough time to stop Sarah Dathomir from crossing the distance between them, deactivating her lightsaber and punching Jupiter right in the midsection. The Senshi of Lightning gasped and backed up a bit, her eyes widening. Dathomir reactivated her lightsaber and pressed the advance, slashed at Jupiter's head, forcing her onto the defensive. The brunette Senshi blocked her attacks and let go of her lightsaber with her right hand. Sparkling Wind Pressure! She shouted. A brilliant white ball of light formed in her cupped hand. She tossed it underhanded at Dathomir, who attempted to block it with her own lightsaber and Sakabato. The spear blocked the cross blades and exploded, pitching Sailor Dathomir back. She landed on her back and rolled several meters before coming to a stop. The redheaded Senshi posted her arms beneath her, pushed herself on the hardwood floor. Your skills have definitely increased, she wheezed. Jupiter half bowed. Keep your eyes on her opponent. Thank you. Sarah Dathomir soon regained her footing and held her lightsaber in front of one hand, while motioning to Jupiter with the other. The Senshi of Lightning smiled, the smile of a predator, and twirled her double-bladed lightsaber around over her head. Let's finish this. The two Senshi came together and locked all four blades once more. Suddenly, Dathomir's head came forward, cracking Jupiter twice in the forehead. Stars swam in front of Brunette's green eyes, and she blinked rapidly to clear her vision. Jupiter stepped back and let go of her lightsaber with her right hand, clenching her fist and cocking it back. Dathomir dropped her Sakabato to the ground and mirrored Jupiter before she let loose with one defining punch. The two fists met and slid against each other on their way to her opponent's head. Time seemed to crawl to a stop for both of them as their blows landed, clipping their heads and rocking their jaws. Both Senshi stumbled back, while dropping to the wooden floor. Jason ran over to Dathomir while saying, Tennoka! Are you alright? Yeah, Jupiter is okay too, Jason. She's fine over there. He reached her just as she was getting to her knees. I am fine, friend Jason. She mumbled through her achy jaw. Now, please stop shouting, okay? I have a bad headache. A bright red light enveloped her as she reverted back to Tennoka Joe. Jupiter, meanwhile, was enveloped in a bright green light as he reverted back to Kino Makoto. She immediately leaned forward and put her hands to the floor as exhaustion threatened overwhelming her. That was awesome, she panted. Jason held Tennoka to her feet, and the two walked over to Makoto. Tennoka held Makoto to her feet, and the two locked eyes, as if really seeing for each other for the first time. You are ready, Tanaka said. Makoto nodded. As are you. The three left the dojo and immediately went into the main living area. Makoto went to the kitchen for some hot chocolate, while Jason helped Tanaka to her room. She collapsed onto the bed while Jason went over to dress her. You know, Tanaka, he began to say, I've been thinking a lot about your proposal 2 days ago. He leaned on the dresser and gathered his thoughts. I love you, probably as much as you love me. A low chuckle escaped his lips. I guess I'm saying I accept. I will marry you. Yes! 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 Banzai! Banzai! Tanaka let a slightly rare laugh escape her lips. I thought that's what I asked you. The laugh soon proved infectious, and Jason found himself laughing so hard, tears were rolling down his cheeks. He wiped them away and lay down even as he slid down next to him. We better get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Tanaka nodded and snuggled up to Jason. Within seconds, they were both asleep. The next morning, everyone gathered at the Millennium Falcon and Jade Saber. Sailor Alderaan, Tuxedo Alderahan, Loey, Chewie, and Lusa stood by and watched as everyone gathered. Okay, I'm taking bets on what type of song you guys might want. We've got Battle Without Honor and Glory. Da, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Or my personal favorite, Overtaken by One Piece. Dum, dum, da, da, da. A large ornate door appeared and opened up, allowing Sailors Pluto, Saturn, Neo Saturn, Tatooine, and Tuxedo Titan, Anakin Solo, to emerge. Large station wagon made its way down the path, driven by Keiko. She pulled over and let Sailors Mercury, Bespin, and Melody come out. Be careful, Keiko said to her daughter. Mercury bent down and hugged her mother through the window. I'll be careful, she said, before turning and walking away. Sailors Dathomir, Jupiter, Tuxedo Hoppies. Jason walked up the path, followed by Sailors Moon, Neo Moon, Corellia, Tuxedo Math, and Tuxedo Ennet. 10 minutes later, Sailors Mars, Venus, and Coruscant arrived. Coruscant's green eyes were bloodshot, but she appeared fine otherwise. Luna and Artemis walked in the middle of the group. Everyone join hands and form a circle around the Wookiees, Artemis said. Louie and Chewie raided their bowcasters as the Senshi and Jedi gathered around. Venus let out a nervous sigh. This is it. Her eyes looked around. I'll invite you all to the next concert I have. You'll get front row tickets in the works. Alderaan looked over at the dizzy Senshi and smiled faintly. You're as good as a singer as a Jedi. I would be honored to attend. Venus blessed the compliment. Thank you, Your Highness, she said, curtsying. Happy's looked around, cleared his throat. I'd like to make an announcement. Tanaka and I are getting married. Sailor Alderaan and Tuxedo Alderaan looked over at their son. Alderaan chuckled and smirked. I was waiting for that. Alderaan sighed and looked to the sky. I'm going to be a grandmother before I know it. She grinned. Dathomir's gray eyes looked over her future parents-in-law. I hope to be proof worthy of your son. Alderaan shook her head. You already are, Tanaka. Tatooine spoke up.
Still, what's the point?
Coruscant's gullible eyes broke from the circle as he pointed to the moon and Corellia. We get them inside to seal chaos up and free the starseeds she's stolen. Anything else? Tatooine shook her head, and Coruscant took Mars and Jupiter's hands again. Let's do this. Everyone half closed their eyes in concentration. The wind picked up and tossed everyone's hair about, while a pre-dinosaur glow enveloped everyone. Luna suddenly shouted, Sailor! While Artemis finished the incantation, Teleport! Tuxedo Hapi's eyes focused through the mask over his eyes. He still could not discern when the actual teleport took place. One moment, he was in front of the Millennium Falcon. Next, he was in front of the warehouse. Everyone broke apart and looked around, casting out with their force and their senses preparing for the battle. Suddenly, Gyra pointed to the roof. We have Killboy! Everyone's eyes followed her arm. On top of the roof, The Amazon Trio and Amazon's Quartet appeared.
We've been waiting for some new playmates,
Pala shouted while balancing on a large ball. So quickly pushed off of it and flipped around, kicking it with her foot and then sending it into Sensei's mist. It landed and exploded in a large fireball, but everyone was already dancing the blast. Dathomir and Jupiter leapt to the roof, lightsabers activated and ready. The two landed and stood back to back. You don't stand a chance, Jupiter coolly said while she swung her double-bladed lightsaber over her head, gently bringing it down and pointing one end at the enemies. Hawkeye smiled and motioned to the other side of the roof. We might not, but they will. Dathomir looked over and saw Pet's lead crow standing there. While the two sensies readied themselves for a fight, the Amazon Trio, Sarah, Fest, Pala jumped down from the roof, leaving Chun up there to aid the other two. My gosh, this battle's going to be huge, epic, and totally awesome.
The only thing that's missing are the Sailor Starlights coming out of nowhere.
At ground level, Sailors Tyron and Melody stepped forward. The censor crossed her arms in front of her and said, Crystal Blizzard! A dozen razor-sharp crystals appeared in front of Sailor Tyron, and when she separated her arms, they flew at the enemy. At the same time, the slightly younger Melody held out her left arm and said,
Paletta announcement.
A lavender energy web emerged from Melody's hand and quickly grew in size as it sped toward the enemy. Gotcha! Fisteye held up his green-webbed hand. 5 starring eyes appeared out of thin air. The ram flung down at Melody's neck, slicing it apart, and backflipped and twisted, dodging Tyra's crystals before landing back to where he was standing. The two younger Sensi's jaws dropped in disbelief.
We're screwed.
Fisteye ran up to them, but was stopped when Sailor Pluto stepped between him and the two young Sensi. The Guardian of Time leveled her time staff at him and whispered, Total scream. A large rolling spear of energy shot from the tip of her staff, hitting Fisteye dead on, and blowing him and the bracelets of wrist around his part. She turned to Chiron and Melody and nodded. Stick by me. Mercury tugged on her earring and activated her visor. A crystalline blue visor materialized over her eyes, allowing her to scan the entrance to the warehouse.
The Sailor Animates Advanced Sisters are coming out, she calmly said. Get ready!
The Seals Eneth and Mask flanked the Sailors Moon and Corellia. We'll get 'em in, Eneth said, brandishing Honora's rose. Just then, the loading doors at the edge of the warehouse opened, allowing the Sailors Animates and Phantom Sisters to emerge. Cavalieros and Koan ran and charged Mars and Coruscant. Mars clasped her gloved hands together and quickly pulled them apart, forming a fiery bow and arrow. Mars! Sniper! She yelled, firing off a flaming arrow. The two sisters dodged the attack. Cavalieros unfurled her whip and snapped it, sending a bolt of violet electricity. The bolt hit Mars dead on and wrapped her around her, hurling her back and sending her skidding into the dirt. Coruscant snarled and held out her gloved hand. A wavy spear of energy appeared above it. It's Shockwave! She threw it at Cavalieros, but the brunette snatched her whip again and destroyed the projectile. Coruscant growled, Damn it! When is that happening? Neo Moon and Neo Saturn ran over to Coruscant and Mars. They were stopped when an aluminum siren stepped in front. The dizzy Sensi licked her gloved hand and ran it across her long blue hair, causing the Sensi's stomach to turn.
I did not need to see that,
Neo Moon crumbled, clenching her stomach. Aluminum Siren's blue eyes gleamed as she held out her hands and shouted,
Galaxia Tsunami!
Ribbons of blue energy swirled around her and struck both Sensi dead on, knocking them back. Neo Saturn landed with her right leg twisted beneath her body, snapping the femur in two. Her eyes closed in pain as threatened to overwhelm her. Saturn and Tuxedo Titan saw their future daughter injured.
No!
Saturn shouted, her violet eyes hot with barely contained anger. Titan withdrew a blue rose from his cape and flung it at the aluminum siren, impaling her foot and pinning her to the ground. This allowed Saturn to walk up to the fallen Sensi, purple lightsaber in hand. Before she could even think, Aluminum Siren's bracelets were destroyed by a quick slash of Saturn's lightsaber. While Sensi dissolved in a sarah of light, Titan ran over to the injured Sensi, followed by Sailor Mercury. The blue-haired genius had a first aid kit and was checking Neo Saturn.
She's out of the fight.
Mercury says he ready a colossal sprint.
She looked back at Neo Moon. I guess ATV use is not much better.
Titan helped Mercury. Will she be alright? Mercury scanned Neo Saturn with her visor.
She'll need rest, but I'll be fine.
She placed her hand on Neo Saturn's forehead and concentrated, inducing a healing trance.
She's quite healthy.
Mercury nodded. Titan's blue eyes shone beneath the mask he wore. He's a solo, alright. Saturn walked over, size glaive in hand.
I shall guard my daughter and my best friend,
she said, kneeling down in front of Sailors Neo Saturn and Neo Moon. Titan withdrew another rose and stood back with his girlfriend. While a dozen bows raced around them, Sailors Moon and Corellia plunged ahead. Nacia's mask and Enna flanked them while Luna trailed behind, her paws pumping in order to keep up. They burst through the door and ran for another 5 meters before stopping. The door abruptly slammed shut, plunging them into total darkness. Maston clipped his lightsaber and ignited it, sending forth a silvery blade. Corellia, Moon, and Enna soon followed with their own plasma blades. Enna's emerald eyes looked around. Do I even have to say it? He joked. Corellia swatted him on his shoulder, but her brown eyes were soon drawn to a golden throne room in the middle of the room. A demon clad in onyx armor, with the wings of a bat, sat on a golden dais. Now, the two threats to my dominion are here. Galaxia sat forward and flashed a faint smile. Which of you wants to die first? Luna looked up at Sailor Moon.
Do it now!
Sailor Moon glanced at her mentor and nodded. In one smooth motion, she deactivated her lightsaber and held it in her hands. A large wand appeared in it.
Silver crystal power kiss!
She shouted. Corellia pointed her lightsaber at Galaxia and shouted,
Silver crystal saber attack!
Twin beams of pure white energy shot out and hit Galaxia. But they impacted an invisible shield 2 meters before hitting Galaxia, strode over it. The demon examined her claws as if bored, then looked up with her blood-red eyes. Pathetic. She gestured with her right hand, sending out a massive telekinetic shockwave that flung everyone back against the wall. Hard. Now you shall pay for your ignorance. Ed let out a cry of pain. He looked up and saw Galaxia casually rise from her throne. She walked over and held out her hand. A ball of white energy formed in it. I shall melt your star seeds on a special plaque, she said. Moon groaned and sat up and shouted, Where are they? Where are the souls of our friends? Galaxia turned into waste and gestured to a spot behind her throne. Moon craned her neck and gasped at the sight of 22 star seeds suspended in midair. Her eyes quickly focused on 4 in front. Corellia brought it out.
Uncle Luke! Tion! Aruka! Masiru!
She had closed her eyes and painfully got to her feet.
I can't forgive you for this chaos.
I won't forgive you! A sudden warmth flowed through her body as she instinctively held out her right hand, summoning her transformation wand once more. A new energy flowed through her as she sighed,
Corellia! Eternal power! Make up!
A blizzard of feathers enveloped Sailor Corellia. When he disappeared, her uniform was now substantially different. Cloth wings were attached to her back, and back bow in front of her fuku was now feather-shaped. Her black ankle boots were now knee-high boots, with black trim at top. Luna got to her feet and stared at her.
She's as powerful as Usagi,
she whispered. Tatsia's mask and Ev got to their feet, each with a rose in their hand. Galaxia scoffed. So, you have eternal power. It does not matter. I'll take your star seeds and those of your friends outside. Then, there shall be nothing to stand in my way. Sailor Moon and Corellia exchanged a glance before raising their weapons and shouting,
Sailor! Crystal power! Cast!
Silver crystal saber attack! Everybody's got a new power. Eternal mode's activated. You know what? This calls for a soldier. You can take your pick, but play it. Jupiter sent out a palm strike at Pets, but the green-haired Phantom sister blocked it and spun around, lasting out with her foot and tripping out the brunette Senshi. Jupiter's left hand shot out from behind her and broke her fall, allowing her to roll through and end up back on her feet. She brought her emerald-colored light staff into a defensive position and twirled it around, blocking several bolts of lightning unleashed by Pez. She hopped to her feet and suddenly dodged and rolled to the left, narrowly missing a kick from Jujun. Jupiter spun her double-bladed lightsaber around and swept up the lower blade while deactivating the upper blade for more rotation stability, nicking Junjun's chest and producing a small woman in a green weapon's dress. The athletic Gamma-san looked down at the hole with her green eyes and sneered. "You'll pay for that!" she yelled, jumping up, twisting in the air, and landing behind Jupiter. Her head said he turned to face her, but Junjun's foot lashed out with a back toe kick, hitting her arm and knocking her away her lightsaber. Sailors Dathomir and Led Crow battled on the far side of the roof. The dark-skinned Senshi looked over at Dathomir and fired off razor-sharp feathers from her wings. Dathomir plunged herself into the force, allowing it to direct her body. The Senshi of balance twisted and moved with fluid grace as he dodged every single feather. Led Crow snarled and unfurled her whip. "I'm going to skin you alive." Dathomir held out her hands and concentrated. Blue's flame and fully engulfed her left hand. She said, "Dathomir, hate wave!" A tongue of flame shot out at Led Crow and reduced her wings to ash. Led Crow gasped in unutterable pain and crashed to the roof. Dathomir walked up to her and heard Led Crow muttering to herself, "And I'm always hitting burnt. My wings have been destroyed more times than I can count." She looked up at Dathomir with her scarlet eyes aside. "End it now, please," she murmured, extending her arms. Dathomir unclipped her lightsaber, ignited it, and then seized her Sakabato. With two quick slashes, she sliced apart the bracelets and destroyed Sailor Led Crow's shell. She turned and saw Jupiter tangling with Junjun and Pets. Jupiter leaned forward, dodging a strike from behind. Pets tried a low kick to the thigh, but Jupiter blocked it and rolled to the left. She held her right hand and concentrated, telekinetically summing up her light staff to her hand. The gray cylinder rolled around to the ground just before jumping up and flying to Jupiter, landed right in the palm of her hand, allowing her to deactivate the twin beams, setting them around in a seesaw motion, slashing across Pet's midsection, destroying the bracelets encircling Junjun's wrists. Helen fell to her knees as her body dissolved in a shower of light. Pets, meanwhile, stumbled back as blood dripped down from her front green dress. She turned around and ran right into Dathomir. The Senshi of balance brought her lightsaber and Sakabato to the front, before slashing to the side of the burr, striking the golden bracelets encircling Pet's wrists, and destroying the shell. Jupiter walked over to Dathomir and motioned to the gray field in front of the warehouse. "We better go help our friends." The redhead nodded gravely. "That is a fact." Her gray eyes looked over the battlefield, and her eyebrows shot up in shock. "I only hope there are friends to help when we get there." Sarah's Tyrone and Melody stood back to back, both scared and neither knowing what to do. After some initial successes, the fight had now swung in favor of Galaxia's army. Badly in their favor. Except for Fisheye and Luna's Siren, the rest of Galaxia's army was intact. Melody's eyes swept from side to side, and the young woman let out a gasp. Except for her, Chiron, Melody, Tatooine, and Pluto, everyone else was out of the fight. Sailors Mars, Alderaan, Saturn, Neomu, Mars, Hades, and Titan were injured, while Coruscant, Louie, Chewie, Alderaan, Bespin, and Venus were held back by some plant in the middle of the field. Sarah stood in front of it and directed its vines with her hands. Beady black eyes looked about. A haughty air clung to her. "Well, my plans turned to the side of the battle just like that." Pal bunched up and down on her heels and clapped Giddy behind her. Hogseye ran his fingers through his flame red hair and sighed melodramatically. "It's not over there. We still have to scrap to deal with it." Tatooine's green eyes went wide with the insult.
"How dare you! I'm a Jedi Knight and Sarah Senshi, not some soulless automaton like you jerks!"
The five Senshi moved close to one spot for better defense. Pluto kept her time staff in one hand, while she held her lightsaber at the guard in the other. Suddenly, Pala held out her right hand, and a small ball appeared in a delicate palm.
"Here's another present!"
The ball floated up and shot at Pluto, but the guardian of time was ready. She brought her golden-colored lightsaber up and slashed at the ball. But the Jedi Master's danger sense was off a second too late. The halves reformed themselves after being split in two. It smacked Pluto right in the face. Blood spurted from her nose. Her right eye puffed and swelled shut. She dropped her lightsaber and stumbled back. Tiger's Eye used the opportunity to snap his whip at Pluto, wrapping the thin strip of leather around the Senshi and immobilizing her. Hansai looked at Chiron with his sharp eyes and chuckled. Now then, dear, why don't you save yourself some pain? The centaur gritted her teeth, crossed her arms in front of her chest. 5 crystals formed in front of her as he said, Crystal Blizzard! Hurling the crystals at the flamboyant Birdman. He smirked and held his gloved hands out, forming a barrier that easily deflected Chiron's attack. Your billable cuban zirconia won't work, he sneered, cracking his whip. Chiron's brown eyes glanced at Melody. We need more power! Suddenly, both Senshi felt a wave of power flash through their bodies and souls. Mercury looked up, pretending to Pluto, and shouted,
It's your star power. Some of your transformation wand is sound star power. Make up!
The two Senshi nodded and concentrated for a moment. The transformation wands appeared in front of both, before they dissolved and reformed themselves. The Turonian and Melodies reached out and grabbed it, shouting twin cries of the day, Shadow Star Power! Make up!
Ability, your star power. Make up!
A bright light and golden pair, and when it faded, they stood in slightly altered Senshi uniforms. The ribbon tied to the small of the back was now pleated, and a small neckband encircled the neck. Tyron suddenly thrust her hands out in front and concentrated. A light blue spear topped by the crystalline spear materialized in front of her as he pointed at Hawk's eye. Crystal Blast! A pencil-thin beam of sapphire energy shot out of the spear's tip and passed under Hawkeye's armpit. His body froze and his shoulders shuddered. Nice aim, he said in an attempt to cover up his sheer terror. Melody's narrow eyes narrowed as he tracked the course of the beam.
She wasn't aiming at you, idiot!
In the back, Sarah let out a wail, dropped to her knees and held out her arms.
My baby! How could you kill it?
The entire Galaxia's army turned back to Sarah's plant, now with a large hole in its stern, and grease ooze flowing out. The vines holding the prisoners slacked and dropped down to the ground. Sailor Venus landed at her feet, collapsing to one knee to lessen the impact. She pointed to Sarah and shouted, Crystal Beam! A golden beam of energy shot out from her fingertip and hit the bracelet encircling Sarah's left wrist, shattering it. The cell of the young woman staggered back, only to have her other bracelet destroyed by the stem of a red-petaled rose. Her black eyes went wide as her body disintegrated. Shirley and Lily raided their bowcasters and fired off several dozen rounds of explosive quarrels. The explosive bladed arrows hit the ground, sending out shockwaves that boxed in Galaxia's army and sent up a dust cloud. Prepare for oblivion, spawns of hell. Tysil Alderaan turned his longtime friend and smiled. Good job, pal. Shuri roared off and fired off another quarrel. Catching Sailor Tindiako in the chest and pinching the feeling on back. Same to you, Honor Brother. And the tux looks good on you, too. Suddenly, Alderaan's brown eyes lit up, and he attracted 2 females dropping to the roof to the ground. Is this a private party? Sailor Jupiter began. Or can we attend as well? Sailor Dathomir finished. The 2 muscular Senshi stood back to back, lightsabers and Sakabato ready. I just gotta say, I love how reading the word Sakabato. Jupiter's arms were enveloped in lightning, while both of Dathomir's arms had blue flame flickering around. At the opposite side of the field, Mercury cupped her hands together and concentrated. A ball of bluish white energy formed. Saban! Spray! She sighed, throwing the ball into a dust cloud. It exploded into a large fog, blinding everyone to see them. Alderaan flashed him a smile. I'm glad to see you. He motioned to the dust cloud. Pick your targets, ladies and Wookiees. Inside the fog, Cauliflowers looked around and noted the imminent confusion and panic setting in. She gritted her teeth and looked for a way out. I'm not dying here! She yelled. Suddenly, she felt something grab her leg. She looked down in her brown eyes and saw the eviscerated Tindiako gripping her leg.
Don't leave me!
Cauliflower grated her tip and lashed out with her lip. Our partnership is over, she coolly said, destroying the bracelet and circling the feeling on his right wrist. Natanyako's golden-colored eyes went glassy as he saw Cauliflower slip into the air. Sarah Bestman looked up and saw Cauliflower make her escape. Oh, no, you don't, she shouted. Jealous flames gathered in her hands as she shouted, Tabana flames! Pissing the fireballs at Cauliflowers. Unfortunately, they exploded before ever reaching the Phantom's sister. Shut it! She swore, gritting her teeth. Alder looked at her. Hey, fire isn't usually a long-range weapon. I think you did pretty good. Bestman regarded her former nemesis. Thanks, hon. On the other side of the field, Mercury activated her visor and scanned the cloud with her mini-computer, while Jupiter tossed sparkling wide pressures into the cloud. Daphne punched the air, sending rancor res houses into the morass. She counted only 6 left in the cloud. She had closed her blue eyes and concentrated, dispersing the cloud. Tiger's Eye and Fish Eye were kneeling on the ground, tired but unhurt. Iron Mouse had lost her right arm and had blood trailing down the side of her face. Fez had a large hole in her chest, while her friend Palo Palo was now missing a leg. Finally, Tendayako was laying on the ground, with an equally large hole in her chest and only one bracelet left. Melody sighed and walked to them.
It's over. Surrender, and your death shall be quick.
Einstein laughed and laughed at the dam. No, we won't! He spun to his feet and hung out a flaming stick, blew on the fire, sending out a large, thin spray of flames. Melody's yellow eyes flashed and raised her right hand. A crescent-shaped yellow boomerang formed her right hand.
Claw of death,
she sighed, tossing the airsy blade at Hawk's Eye. Hit the bracelet on his right wrist and ricocheted off, striking the bracelet on his left wrist. His blue eyes went glassy and he fell to the ground, body feeling into nothingness. The anti boomerang landed in Melody's hand and dispersed.
Sweet,
she exclaimed, grinning. Shira trotted over to her. Can't we let them live if they surrender? She asked. It doesn't feel right to simply kill them. Iron's Mouse voice,
we will surrender, Horse Lady. We will fight you to the death.
The petite Senshi pointed her left arm under her and pushed her to her feet. She ran at Chiron, but Sarah Tatooine, standing behind Chiron, struck the ground with her gaffy staff and shouted, Tatooine ground quake! An orange spear shot out and traveled along the ground, raping it up and intercepting Iron Mouse, exploding right in front of her. The shockwave obliterated the golden bracelets and pissed her body back into dirt. All that was left was a pair of mouse ears. Fez unclipped her whip from her belt and uncoiled it. I'll take at least one of you down! The red-headed magician grabbed a handful of beads from a bag on her belt and tossed it to the ground, creating a huge flash of smoke. Chiron and Melody shielded their eyes for a moment. When they looked again, Fez was right in front of them. Die! She snarled. Before she could do anything, several dozen airsy ribbons hit her, slicing her arms off and obliterating her bracelets. Fez's body dissolved as she stood there, mouth agape in shock. Tyrannosaurus tried to path of the ribbons, looked over and saw Sailor Neo Saturn standing, glaive in hand. You have met oblivion, she rasped out, the indefinitely sharp blade circling the palmar, glowing brightly with rainbow colors, fading into a dull sheen. Young Senshi walked up to Sailors Chiron and Melody, slight limp on a rock. Are you all right? Melody let out a breath.
Are we okay? Are you okay?
She looked at Neo Saturn's right leg. There was a large bruise where the break happened, but the thin leg was more or less straight. Younger member Senshi of Death shrugged nonchalantly.
Sarah's Amy's healing trance held down, and I inherited my mother's natural healing ability.
She turned her violet eyes to the remaining members of Galaxia's army and brayed her glaive. We must finish this quickly! The three turned back to Tiger's Eye, Palapala, and Tendayako. And of the trio, only Tiger's Eye looked like he could mount at any kind of offense. Across the field, Sarah Venus raised her right arm and concentrated. A golden chain appeared around her arm. Venus, let me chain! She shouted. Swung it around over her head and shot the last member of the Amazon trio. He backflipped out of reach of the heart-shaped links and held up his hand. 3 small glowing knives appeared in it, and he tossed them at the blonde Senshi. Venus lasted on the knives with a force, stopping their flight. She turned them around and telekinetically stopped them back into surprised Tiger's Eye. Pure reflex caused him to bring his arms in front of his face and bare chest. allowing the knives to hit the bracelets and destroy them. He dropped to the ground and vanished within seconds.
Pow Pow shot up and shouted, "It's not fair! Not fair!" Her face scrawled up in anger. "You'll pay for that!"
As soon as the words left her mouth, Sarah Chiron raised her spear and shouted, "Crystal Blast!" Light blue energy beam shot out the spear tip twice, hitting Pow Pow's bracelets with pinpoint accuracy, destroying them. Now that was all left was Sarah Tiniako. The Illinois spat out blood and held her left arm.
Yes, indeed.
Tuxedo Alderaan nodded, summoned up the rose. With a flick of his wrist, it hit stem first and destroyed the bracelet in Tiniako. He wiped sweat from his brow before running to the insert. "Leia!" he yelled, standing by his wife. "Are you alright?"
The Senshi of Peace looked up and nodded. "I'm fine, you Nefhada," she said, twinkling his nose and smirking.
Tuxedo Alderaan sighed and swept Alderaan up for a mother of all kisses. Sailor Melody walked up to Neo Saturn, Mercury, and Chiron.
"So, now what?"
she asked. Mercury looked at the warehouse and turned back to Melody.
"I can't feel anything over there. So we wait and tend to the wounded."
Eli Sensi nodded, and most of the Sensi turned the ground.
"We better work fast. If Jaina and Usagi fall, we all stand between our realities and chaos."
Join us tomorrow, folks. We're about to have the biggest grand finale you're ever gonna see. Yeah, we're about to top Moon Meets Dragon. Enjoy.